It's time to unbox a figure that's been in its shipper way too long. Welcome to Mando Collectables. So here is this week's new figure unboxing. This is of course MMS 493 Han Solo, the Mud Trooper 1/6 scale figure. And I've been waiting a very long time to crack this one open. I've had it for a while. I bought it brand new just before the hype hit, because this figure at one time was mental on the secondary market and you couldn't get it anywhere. It was absolutely so popular. But the demand has come down for it a little bit now. But at the time, I was very lucky to pick this one up brand new. And as I say, it's been sitting in the box for far too long. So it's about time I unboxed this figure and got him in the collection. So let's take a look at the box. And here we have the man himself, Solo, Han Solo, in the Mud Trooper costume with the actual visors up. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to show his face sculpt. It is pretty impressive, I've got to admit that. But I think I'm going to be showing him as a trooper with the lenses down. But anyway, let's have a look at the side. And as you can see, this is what it looks like with the lenses down. And I much prefer the figure as it looks with the lenses down. So I might be doing that. But regardless, the band goes all the way around, and there is the man himself. Don't ask me to pronounce his name. Alden Henriksen, I think. Hopefully I've got that right. But the face sculpt, I think, is pretty impressive. But whether I show it is another thing entirely. But there we go. The band goes all the way around, of course. And then at the back, we have, of course, the whodunits, ifs, whys and whats. Nothing too special there. And then right back round to the front, where we have, of course, the man himself yet again. Great box art. So what we'll do is we'll take off the lid, take a look at the inlay card, and then get this figure out and check out the details, all the accessories, and then get this figure into the collection. So here's the inlay card, and I've got to admit this pose looks pretty fantastic, and it is giving me second thoughts about whether to show his face or not. I'm not too sure yet, but awesome pose, fantastic photograph of the actual figure itself. This is a really, really nice figure, and I'm really looking forward to getting this on the shelf. So there we go, guys. That is the inlay card. So let's take the inlay card off and get the accessories out and check out what it comes with. And here's all the Mud Troopers accessories. We'll start with, of course, the stand. And it's nice to have a new texture on the top of this, like a muddy effect this time round. Beats having the sandy effect with the footprints in this any day. Loving the faceplate. Loving the design around the Star Wars logo with obviously Han Solo in there. And then we'll move on to, of course, the extra 2 sets of hands. You've got 2 fist hands and, of course, 2 trigger fingers. Then we'll move on to the blaster rifle, which I really do like, and I'm impressed with this. Like the paintwork, a lot of weathering to this and chips and things out the gun. But yeah, really impressed with that rifle. Really do like that. And then we move on to the helmet itself. Of course, this is the helmet. Inside, of course, you do have an extra hairpiece where you take the top one off and you pop this one on so you can wear the helmet. But liking, yet again, the weathering and the painting effects of the helmet. Pretty impressed with that. Then we have the chin strap, which is separate, which I kind of find weird. So no doubt we'll figure out how that goes on later. Next, we have the breathing apparatus, or the mask that goes on the front of the mask. Or should I say the helmet. And then finally, we have the lenses, the goggles, which you can either stick on the top or, of course, in front, whichever takes your fancy. But there we go. That is all the accessories for the Mud Trooper. So let's now get the figure out and take a look at the figure. So here's Solo in the Mud Trooper disguise, straight out of the box, no fancy posing. So we'll just go straight in and have a close look at the figure himself. So we'll just start with the head sculpt. And I really, really like this head sculpt. He looks really a lot like the actor. Very, very good. Nice sculpted hair. And his features are really, really good. It's nice to have a actual figure for a change with a head sculpt, because I haven't got any to be honest with you. This is the first one I've ever had, so I'm quite happy with it. Down to the actual uniform, most of it is just basically standard padding that it attaches to himself. And I do like the jean effect of the actual undergarments. It's really quite nice, that is. Good contrast. And then down, of course, to his trousers, which is like, it's like a jean effect. And it's really nicely, looks quite weathered, and I'm impressed with that. And then straight down to the boots. The boots obviously follow the armour at the top, the green effect, which are, of course, nice green. And then you got the padding on the front of the main boot. And then at the back, we have this big, massive, like, shawl, like a coat, which you're going to take a bit of futzing and playing around with just to get that right. But underneath, you've just got his standard armour, like the front. But overall, this figure looks amazing. Obviously, once I've sorted out the helmet, I've got this piece here that's dangling around his neck. I'm not too sure what I've got to do with that yet, or I will figure that out. But overall, the figure itself is absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to giving this one a good pose, getting him in a great pose, and getting this jacket right. And yeah, let's just see how we go. So there he is. That's Solo in a standard pose. Let's get all his equipment on and get him into a nice dynamic pose and add him to the collection. So finally, here he is, the Mud Trooper. A bit of fudging around with him, but in the end I got there. But boy, was it worth it. This guy is absolutely awesome. As you can see, I've left his visor down and put his mask on. I do prefer him like that. He looks more menacing, and definitely one of my favourite troopers now, without question. As I say, issues with the pipe work. I had to like try and get it down to the back behind his coat, and it kept on pushing the mask forward, popping his head off a little bit, but I got over that in the end. And then obviously this section here, trying to hide the ball joint on his hand, I just have to keep on pulling his coat down and then trying to bend his arm into a decent position, and I've done a pretty decent job now. But as you can see, he's kind of in a running pose. But overall, this figure's absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. His coat's in a decent, you know, like a wavy kind of like wind behind it kind of look as he's running. But overall, really, really pleased with this figure. Absolutely. Why I left this in the box so long, I'll never know. But it's out, and I'm very, very happy with it. And at last, I'm going to add it to the collection. So that is Han Solo, the Mud Trooper, 1/6 scale figure. Let's add it to the collection. So there we have it. Yet another absolutely awesome figure added to the collection. And that one being, of course, Han Solo disguised as the Mud Trooper. Absolutely fantastic figure. Why I left it in the box so long, I'll never know. But very, very happy at last to have him added to the collection and standing really nicely next to Darth Maul, of course, from the same movie. I will try and get the one more character that I'm after, which is the Patrol Trooper from the Solo movie. Then I'll be done with that film, be happy. But I was waiting, biding my time for the right price, and one will come along eventually, and then I'll be happy, all done. But for the time being, two awesome figures from that film, and could not be happier. So there we have it, guys. Another video done and dusted. Another fantastic figure added to the collection. So before I go, guys, I just want to thank my new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. Much appreciated. Always welcome. Hope you enjoy the content that I'm putting out at the moment. Please do leave a thumbs up. Please do leave a comment. And last but not least, please do subscribe. But remember, only if you want to. I'll catch you in the next video.